Welcome into the Cowboys Report, live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. I am Tom Downey. We are once again stuck with Jeremy Chuggs behind the scenes as the producer. I'm sure he definitely won't draw you guys off sides with various comments about the Eagles, who, of course, are still in the NFL playoffs playing for yet another Super Bowl. So our first question today, following the news in classic Jerry Jones form, making the news leak and dropping it after or in the middle of a playoff game, was dumping Kellen Moore the correct move? Why for yes, N for no? The early results are overwhelmingly in favor of dumping Kellen. 89% voting Y for yes, or now 88%, I guess, 12% voting no. Get those votes in both in the pinned poll and just on the YouTube side in the comments. Y for yes, N for no. We will spend plenty of time today talking about Kellen Moore, the replacements, the plan along the offensive coaching staff is making some big-time changes there. So was dumping Kellen Moore the right move? Y for yes, N for no? I see yes, 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 yes. A lot of yeses in there. Matt Guyton says yes. Chris Brown, Loyal Descent. Grant. Rocky says go Chiefs. Darian Loans says yes. Creighton Johnson, Jorge, Doris, Regar, Matthew, Art, all typing in Y for yes. I'm curious if this changes at all throughout the live show. Something tells me it's not going to in the end. All right, Jeremy, come on up. Come on in. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Doing good with that Carson Wentz jersey on.
I'm doing really good, Tom.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's a great feeling to have your team in the Super Bowl, you know? I mean, you don't, but you think
I don't.
you know, you think you would know what I mean?
It'd be pretty cool.
Right? Yeah, I'll let
One
you
time?
know.
One time?
I'll let everybody at home know. It's awesome when your team's in the Super Bowl. It feels great. I just want to let y'all know how it feels. It feels pretty awesome. Feels pretty awesome.
This is for you Cowboys fans, because Jeremy wants to know, does any part of you want the Eagles to beat the Chiefs? The argument in quotes, I think, would be, well, maybe if the Eagles win a title, actually piss off Jerry Jones to go do something else. I don't know if that would happen, because it already happened one time, and that didn't change anything there. So I still vote no. I do not want Philly to win. If only to make Jeremy's day worse. If only. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Dude, Eagles win 2 Super Bowls within the span of 5 years. The Cowboys,
with 2 different quarterbacks and head coaches and everything.
Cowboys can barely get out of the wild card round. Oh God, I mean that'd be fantastic.
It would be quite interesting there. So does any part of you, Jeremy? There's a couple of yeses in there, but the vast majority of no. Sheldon says I like Jalen Hurts, but F the Eagles.
Great.
I don't mind that one. That's
great
fair.
Name or great answer, House Nelson.
I did not see what House Nelson said. Oh, there you go. That's a good answer there, I suppose, from that standpoint there.
Oh, hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you know whenever the Eagles win a Super Bowl how it feels. You know, I mean, I know some of y'all. It's probably way back in your memory bank from the '90s of how it feels to win a Super Bowl. I'll let you know.
I wasn't really alive, to be honest.
I'll let you know. Hey, maybe the Renegades will win something this year. Bring a championship to Dallas.
Somehow I doubt that too, because Dallas sports are cursed. Don't forget that.
I don't know. Maybe
Mavs, Rangers.
Are we Renegades fans now?
For the offseason, yeah, sure.
Let's go Renegades.
Notice how Jeremy said we, by the way. Super chat coming in from Rashard Lee. $2. Thank you, Rashard. Got the Chiefs 35-20. I do not think it'll be that close of a game. Also, I think we got to change that super chat. I don't know what's up with that icon there. That doesn't look right to me.
What they did.
Delete it. Just delete it. Get it out of there. I don't think it's going to be that big of a blowout either side. I think this is going to be a very close game. You got best quarterback, best team in the NFL playing each other.
Yeah.
And not, the Chiefs are a bad team either, or the Eagles have a bad quarterback. So curious how it all goes down there. Thank you, Rashard, for that super chat. You guys can get your score predictions in there in the comment section if you want to. I'm sure we'll do it on a future live, just getting some predictions in. Should be a good game there. I'll shout out K-Dog as well. 279, no comment, but thank you, K-Dog, for your super chat. Very much appreciative from that standpoint there. Thank you, my friend. Remember, every $69 in supers, it is shot time for me and Jeremy, which is always fun there. Mike McCarthy, back to the Cowboys standpoint, will be taking over as the Dallas Cowboys play caller. So what is your confidence level in Mike calling the plays? Scale it from 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. Jeremy, you're an unbiased participant here. Well, you're a non-Cowboys fan here.
Yeah.
Let me take out that unbiased part. No trolling answer. How confident in Mike McCarthy calling the plays?
So I'm gonna have a little bit of a spin zone for you.
Ooh, okay, spin zones are fun.
I'm actually gonna, maybe my answer will surprise you a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go an 8.
8? Okay.
I'm gonna go an 8 because he is calling plays for his life.
That is true.
This is the biggest gamble Mike McCarthy has done since he's been the Cowboys head coach. Because, I mean, you know, having Dan Quinn come in and kind of revitalize the defense, kind of have that it's almost like 2 head coaches but not 2 head coaches.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Dan Quinn was obviously the head coach of the defense. Mike McCarthy, I mean, kind of delegated the offense to Kellen Moore and was just like situational duties, but now that he is actually the one calling plays, he's the one that's going to have to answer, like, why'd you run Zeke on a 2nd and 9? Like, I think we might see a good Mike McCarthy. I don't know. He's going to be coaching for his life.
The conspiracy theory call is that the fear, I should say, is that the call has always been coming from inside the house. Like, why did Kellen Moore show all this great pre-snap motion stuff and outside runs and then just not do it later in years? He did that like 3 years in a row. Every year they started hot and then cooled off, and the offense kind of became vanilla. And
it's almost like somebody in the organization thinks they know a lot more than they actually do.
That's always been the fear, that your owner who wants to sit in on play design and other meeting stuff is like, nah, do this. When your boss says do this, you kind of got to do that. That's always been the fear. That's always been the fear.
I remember when we ran this zone run with Larry Allen, and it worked every time.
Run the football. There have been claims that Stephen Jones doesn't like trick plays that involve motion. That in motion's a trick play, and they just want to run the football and establish it. Those have been the deep, dark fears of Cowboys fans.
It's like, Stephen, have you ever coached at any level of the game?
No. All right, some more Super Chats coming in here. We'll hit these. I get these last, I think, in the mailbag, too, if we want, Jeremy. Hayden Miller, trade Dak for Rodgers, draft a quarterback, same cap hit. It is not the same cap hit. If you were to trade Dak Prescott for Aaron Rodgers right now, you are incurring an additional $9 million in salary cap by trading away Dak Prescott, and then you're adding the $15 million you owe Aaron Rodgers. So at that point, you're upwards of 50, you're way past $70 million at quarterback.
My
something I want to do.
My burner's on one.
He's on one right now? He's having fun?
Jerry remembers the Titans.
Yeah. Next Super Chat, Rashard Lee says, trade for DeAndre Hopkins. I'm down to call. I'm not. I have interest in that. I'm not sure how likely it ends up being. I feel like a team might offer more. Plus, you also have to factor this in. Do you want to pay Hopkins $28 million and Lamb $28 million? I'm not sure Dallas wants that, whether it's the right call or not. Chris B, thoughts on Big Mike calling the plays? Feels like it's his big last stand. He's taking on responsibility. Fears it crumbles, and Kellen is good, or it's great in LA. That's the fear, right? That the slant flats ends up being only a little bit better than the all curls. K-Dog, any college OC for non-play calling with new blood and D thinking?
Bill O'Brien.
Could have gotten Bill O'Brien. I think the name you would have consideration here is like a Todd Monken, but I find it tough to see a college offense coordinator in a good spot. Like an OC you would want to come be a non-play caller in the NFL. It's not much of an upgrade there.
He's not in college anymore. He's in the pros, but go get Joe Brady and just have him as a quarterback coach, non-calling OC?
On the list, sure, but it kind of falls in the same category of that's basically a lateral move. And I'm not sure that's something that coaches really want to do.
You're going to love this.
From really depressed Cowboys fan, Super Bowl prediction, I have the Eagles winning 27-20. Jeremy liked that one too much there. It's a very real outcome, possibly. Really weird line movement in that game, too, by the way. Like, really big jump immediately, which doesn't happen very often for a Super Bowl.
I mean,
very rare.
The storylines in this, it's almost like the NFL rigged it to be this.
Oh, of course, they rigged it. I, of course, have many Bengals fans friends, and there are some who are like, it's rigged, blah, 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 whatever. That's cool and all, but that means they rigged it for you last year to make it as far as you did.
Very real possibility.
Not sure if it's rigged for ratings or money. Sorry. Saw it live. Jeremy Chugs' burner. Wouldn't mind Bijan if they did anything in free agency. Seems like they were relying too much on the draft last year, like a soft rebuild. It was a little bit. Reset might be a better term, but they set themselves up to get out of big contracts like Lyle Collins. They redid Tank Lawrence's deal. They're set up now with Tyron Smith, Zeke Elliott, and Mark Cooper. They did kind of reset things a little bit and said, have the quarterback carry us, which we all thought wasn't a great idea and ended up going the way we kind of feared it was going to against the Niners. Rashard Lee says draft the USC wide receiver Jordan Addison. I'm unconvinced he'll be there for you, where you're picking late round 1, but I love it. He brings some speed, brings some vertical ability, brings some short area stuff too. He'd be a great fit for Dallas. I'm just not going to get my hopes up that he's actually there.
All right. So I didn't want to pull up the weigh-in. I wanted to do it kind of like this.
Okay.
If you want the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, don't like the video.
Okay.
If you want the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, go ahead and like the video. I want to see how many Eagles fans we have in the chat right now. If you want the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, go ahead and like the video. If you want the Eagles to go ahead and win, don't like it. If you've already liked it and you want the Eagles to win, just unlike it.
There you go. So like the video, please, and get Jeremy to shut his pie hole.
Well, see, we have over
likes.
400 people in the chat that want the Eagles to win.
That's how math works out. It does. 5-something minus 100-something. It's pretty concerning.
A lot of Eagles fans in the chat. That's all I'm saying. I'm cool with that.
I know you are. Because I don't trust you. 133
fly,
likes.
Eagles,
okay.
Fly
No singing.
On the road
you got to
to
sing
victory.
last time. You don't need to sing again, Jeremy.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
There's one more super chat. We'll hit that, and then we'll get into our show. 2 more super chats on that front there. Aaron Evans, thoughts on Moore's departure. Cowboys ranked 2nd in points scored and yards gained. Oh, that's Aaron Evans, not Aaron Alston. Everyone type L in the comments section for Jeremy. There we go. 2nd points scored and yards gained under Kellen Moore. More credit to Dak and company or more. It's a really good discussion of, who do you give the blame and credit to? Because it's clearly not quite good enough. Funnily enough, by the way, look at the numbers. If you can condense it all down to like EPA per play, just like interceptions kill you, touchdowns help you, big plays, whatever. So it's a really good overall offensive measurement. January, February, December, they've been, well, I guess not February, but December, January, they're top 5.
And
just not quite enough in that last game each
Tom,
time.
we keep on getting more super chats. Mm-hmm. I say we just hit them all in the mailbag.
I kind of think so, too. So, Rashard Lee, Matt Batten, I see you as well. All is well.
Looks like it's going to be an all super chat
mailbag.
It's
my favorite type of mailbag.
Also,
there were some super thanks we'll hit as well, but
$20 away from us taking shots.
Ooh, just like that.
And we have some Hennessy for Tom.
We have Henny? All right, bet. I did not know we had that. Who had the Henny?
We did yesterday.
Raiders had it? That makes more sense there. All right, Michael Walden, I see your super chat as well.
$15 away from some Henny shots.
Getting there real close. Here's what's coming up on today's show. We'll hit some news and rumors, some coaching staff stuff. Trevon Diggs concerns are once again back. Also, Cool Sharky, Valentino Urbina, or Urbina, I think it's Urbina. We'll hit all your super chats. Fargate.
We're $3 away.
We're gonna hit this. We're gonna hit this before we go to the actual show.
$3 away from shots.
There it is. Shot time. Grant Rainwater.
Right,
yeah, let's get them right now and do them. Yeah. We'll leave this up here and we'll do that. All those super chats we'll hit during the mailbag. It's going to be only one mailbag today. Going to be an all super chat mailbag. So you better super chat if you want to for sure get on the show. I see you, Matt. I appreciate it. And Grant and Fargate, etc. We will also look at some Kellen Moore replacements. Mike McCarthy will be the play caller on offense, but they will still fill the offensive coordinator role. That will take some time. It will not be an overnight move, I don't believe, but I think we got to dial back in our expectations a little bit in terms of where things sit with the replacements and coordinator candidates. We'll do the mailbag, all super chat mailbag at this point, and we'll also break down my perfect offseason plan. The Joneses can't do it, but I can save the Dallas Cowboys. Little Henny?
Anything is possible.
Oh, that's right. Do you know how often I drink Henny? Never. I never.
I was told by a coworker out there, Henny lemonade.
Smooth. Ooh. That does sound pretty good. That does sound good. All right.
A little cognac.
Cheers. Pretty good. I like it.
Try with the. I mean, you have lemonade.
That's not lemonade. That's flavored water.
I mean, same thing. The taste together.
It meshes well. All right, Matt, Chris B, Christian J. Pierce, and more of those super chatters. We will hit them on the mailbag, I promise you guys. So don't worry, we'll get to it. It'll also, of course, be available on demand like we always do here at the Cowboys Report. Appreciate all those super chats so far. Let's have the option too. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So get your questions, or at this point, it's super chats. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. A lot of super chats in there. That we'll go to. So we'll hit that here, all part of today's live Cowboys Report. You're watching the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey, and we're hitting the off-season rumors and news, and it really wouldn't be the off-season without social media drama from one of your players, most likely in a contract year. That's what's going on now with Trevon Diggs allegedly unfollowing the Cowboys on Instagram. I don't know if he was actually following them in the first place. Not that it really matters. All his Cowboys photos are up, but it is significant because, well, Trevon Diggs is due and eligible now for a contract extension. That is where we're at this stage. I get that this is always going to be a conversation. I get it. And Dez Bryant was mad about the Cowboys' Twitter account pointing out that Diggs dropped an interception and saying, clearly contract negotiation time. In the end, I don't really think this means that much if it's true. I don't think it really matters. It's not like Diggs is demanding a trade or anything. But it is contract extension time. And like most young players, Trevon Diggs doesn't want to wait for a deal because why would he? He's one of the best young players at his position, is good at football, is due for a contract, and yes, the Cowboys can easily afford him if they so choose. Don't fall for Stephen Jones's pie lie. There's plenty of money in the banana stand for the Cowboys. Diggs' numbers this year, interceptions, pass breakups did dip. But overall, he still played quite well this year, especially down the stretch. Teams, once Anthony Brown went down, teams like, why throw at Diggs anymore? It was the occasional double move for a big gain or underneath stuff. That's kind of all it was against Diggs. Now, I do not believe that Trevon Diggs is the number one corner in the NFL. If I'm parrying them, I'm probably not taking him over any of these five guys. Jair Alexander, maybe Denzel Ward just for this year. I didn't think he played that well for the Browns, although probably their defensive coordinator's fault. Jalen Ramsey is still a top-tier player. Marlon Humphrey, Marshawn Lamber, they're all really great young corners. And so is Trevon Diggs, which means you simply have to pay up to the market. Otherwise, and this is what worries me, and we'll get into this more in depth in a little bit, Cowboys will once again do their BS of lowballing players and then eventually getting a deal done and waiting too long and costing themselves money in the end. So prediction time. Will the Cowboys get a long-term deal done with Trevon Diggs? He's a year ahead of CeeDee Lamb because Lamb has the fifth-year team option. Will a deal get done this offseason? Y for yes, N for no. It's the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there. Let me know Y or N. I'm of the mindset, yeah, you pay Trevon Diggs. The playmaking, even with a couple dropped interceptions this year, still really good. No, by the way, he hasn't played that much corner. He's going to, I think, keep getting better with more and more development from guys like Dan Quinn, Joe Whitt, Al Harris, etc. I will say I have fairly limited faith in Stephen Jones, because when was the last time Stephen Jones did a deal at the right time or earlier and it worked out? Didn't work out with Zeke. Didn't work out that great in the end with Lyle Collins. I kind of blame Collins more than Steven, though, but they dragged their feet on the original DeMarcus Lawrence deal and Dak Prescott deal, on Amari Cooper's deal. The sooner you pay him, the better, because there are other young, very talented corners all due for new deals. Your cycle is basically 3 to 4 years for a lot of the top players at each position. So the longer you wait, the worse end of that cycle you end up landing on. That does worry me for the Cowboys. The sooner they pay him, the better things end up being. Today's Cowboys Report is sponsored by Athletic Greens. I take AG1 by Athletic Greens literally every day. Get comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition at athleticgreens.com/chatsports. I gave AG1 a try because I wanted better gut health and want a supplement that actually tastes great. I take AG1 in the morning and it makes me feel prepared to take on my day. Once I got baby Olivia all set up with her breakfast, I make my AG1. I don't feel the need for caffeine in the morning, and I feel energized throughout the whole day. Plus, AG1 empowers the gut for whole body health. Covering my nutritional basis today literally couldn't be any easier. That's why I trust Athletic Greens. I mix 1 small scoop of AG1 with water or apple juice some mornings and drink it first thing. Done just like that. It also costs less than $3 per day, which is pretty good if you ask me. It's a really effective daily habit with the highest quality sourced ingredients. That's a win-win. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Check it out. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. It's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Let's move now to the coaching carousel for the Cowboys. Look at all this change everyone wanted, right? Kellen Moore's gone. Doug Nussmeier, and this is the newer one of the grouping since Kellen broke, then Doug broke a little bit later. Kellen's now the Chargers' offensive coordinator. That's a done deal. Doug Nussmeier's gone. A bunch of the Mike McCarthy buddies, Rob Davis, Joe Philbin, they are out as well. George Edwards is gone, which kind of surprised some people. Skip Pete, Leon Lett, Kyle Valero, etc. All of those coaches are gone. And my theory here, and I'll emphasize theory, I am unconvinced that all of these coaches and these roles end up being filled. The assistant defensive line coach, the senior defensive assistant, the assistant O-line coach, maybe he sticks around, Leon Lett's role. I'm not sure all those spots get filled, and I wonder if it's because Jerry's challenging Mike to win and do it without a bunch of what they would consider extra coaches that they don't need. When it comes to this Cowboys coaching staff, what is the confidence level in them? Led by Mike McCarthy, knowing there are still some roles to be filled. Confidence level from 1 to 10. It's 1 on the high end, 10 on the high end. And remember, folks, 1 on the low end. I think I might have misspoken. 1 low, 10 high. Okay, I'm about to say, at least I caught myself there. We will keep you guys covered on the entire coaching staff carousel here at the Cowboys Report. Make sure you are subbed. Free videos every single day. All you have to do, click that red or the black and white button right now on YouTube. Let's move to free agency conversation around Tremaine Edmunds. Bleacher Report. It's the offseason, right? Just as the Cowboys signed Edmunds in free agency, their proposed contract was, at least they're using the SPO-Track projection, which it's not very great. It was 4 years, $44 million. That's below market value, by the way. I think it might be more like 4 years, 45, or 3 years, 45 might make more sense. I almost said the exact same. Yeah, 3 years, 45. I got confused on my years there. He's coming off a strong year. He's still only 25 years old. Took a big step forward in coverage this year. It's a fun idea. You add an impact linebacker, and you end up replacing Leighton Vander Esch with Edmunds. I think the money will end up outpricing the Cowboys. The numbers don't look that similar, but the coverage play, or don't look that different. They look very similar. The coverage play was better this year. And I think that was a significant change in the play of Tremaine Edmunds, who would instantly be the best linebacker on your team. You let Van Der Esch leave, you let Barr leave. Micah continues to play edge, so we'll call linebacker asterisks on that standpoint. Damone Clark, Jabril Cox, maybe one of them steps up alongside of Devin Harper. We'll see. You add Edmunds, it'd be a big addition, but it might be out of the Cowboys, especially their own preferred price range. So I want you guys to name a free agent who you want the Cowboys to sign. We'll do some top free agents, both the affordable ones and our dream ones, on the Cowboys Report. So make sure you let me know in the comments section what free agent, or if you want to be an overachiever, free agents you want the Cowboys to sign this offseason. It is the offseason, which means it's time to bring back the shit on fan-sided story of the day, trading Dak Prescott. To be quite blunt, and I will bar the name of the offer to save him further embarrassment than what I'm going to do, their knowledge of the contract situation for Prescott and the trade offers were just completely not there. Now, if you want to trade Dak, it means you are tanking. That is what you are doing. You are blowing it up to move on from your top 10 quarterback, to reset the salary cap a little bit, reset the quarterback contract situation, embrace a 1 to 2 year rebuild to hope maybe instead of a top 2 quarterback, you get a top 5 quarterback and hope you draft the right guy and don't set your franchise back a few years like the Commanders then ended up doing. They had 3 different trade partners, the Titans, the Patriots, and the Packers. Their trade proposal was very similar. We'll go for the one for the Patriots. Since, after all, Bill Belichick has heaped tons of praise on Dak Prescott in his career. The trade proposal is Dak Prescott for a second-round pick, which is, of course, less than Carson Wentz got. If you trade Dak for a second-round pick, who is a top 10 quarterback, fire the franchise into the sun. Just end it. Shut it down. We'll let the Dallas Renegades take over. Does not make sense. It's simply does not make any sense whatsoever. I will also make note that they said you get the contract off the books. Well, long term, to make this trade happen, trade him before June 1st. You lose an additional $9 million on top of his $49 million contract cap hit currently. So you're paying almost $60 million for Dak Prescott to not be on your team, and you are paying a second-round pick in exchange, who you can draft Hendon Hooker with, maybe a tank for a year. To keep it short and simple, fan-sided's wrong. They're stupid. That's a horrible argument laid out. If you're going to trade Dak, you're going to be able to get a premium back. A team like the Jets would be like, wow, we're a quarterback away. Here's our first-round pick for several years and some other assets because right now we have Zach Wilson. We'll give you Wilson for free, too. It's not a good idea if you're trying to win football games right now. If you want to blow it up and tank a little bit, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. But you're probably better off doing it next year or in the August time frame to try to really maximize your savings and roll it over. Doesn't really make sense for the Cowboys if your goal is to win football games right now, because the second-round pick is not going to fix your franchise. Full stop. All right, who you got in the Super Bowl? This one's not so much fun. KC for the Chiefs or PHI for the Eagles?
Let's go. Fly.
Jeremy's going Eagles, I'm sure.
Eagles fly. 100%.
A very weird line movement, by the way, in this game.
You know what else is funny? Mm-hmm. Some local radio guys that I listen to, they're taking Philly.
I think they have a better team and roster.
No, I think because of what you said to me earlier, maybe if the Eagles win again, that'll jumpstart the Joneses into actually doing something.
I'm very worried about Steven. Doesn't seem like his MO. I think Steven's content being a wild card team every year. I do.
As long as his team's in it.
Yeah. That's what I think he is. And I think their mindset, and I don't agree with it, I think their mindset is, let's just make the playoffs every year and see if we get the breaks our way. And they have it in recent years. The Dez catch, the fumbled snap, the bad quarterback play against the Niners.
Go up against the Giants, and then in the NFC Championship game, you go up against a team that doesn't have a quarterback.
Yes. They're like, we just need that. Forgetting, of course, the Eagles got there because they were aggressive in the offseason. Like, that's – and they're going to ignore that part and just look at the end results. Because it's not an accident, by the way, that the last 3 NFC teams who have made the Super Bowl were the most aggressive the offseason before. Bucks, Rams, Eagles.
Yeah?
Could be 3 in a row winning it as well.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, see?
That's true.
Yeah, not that far off there.
Dude,
all right.
That would be awesome.
For you, I'm not sure it would be so much awesome for me and other Cowboys fans out there.
What do you mean, Robert? What do you mean? The Eagles' defense is awesome.
Yeah, it is good.
He's like, no way that they can stop the Chiefs at all.
Chiefs can't run the football again. They're going to have issues. Like, Eagles' defense is really good. Like, that's top 5, top 10, whatever the numbers this year. Like, that's really good. But it probably doesn't fit the argument of, well, Dak can't beat good defenses. So that's also part of it, too.
Yeah, I mean,
because we just moved the goalpost.
I heard it's legit impossible to score more than 13 points against the 49ers.
There you go, Jeremy. All right, let's get set up for the next portion of today's show. Kellen Moore, of course, out as the Cowboys offensive coordinator.
Praise.
It's 83% say yes. Thumbing him was the right move, by the way. Thank you for reminding me of that, Jeremy. Which I'm not terribly surprised by.
I mean, it was the right move, right? You want.
Is it does the end result of who they hire factor in? Or is it just like in a silo?
Oh, I'm ready for all these Cowboys fans to see some brown grass. Because Tom, the grass isn't always greener on the other side.
That's good.
You look very confused.
I was like, where are you going with that? How is the grass? Now it makes more sense.
Because it's not always greener, Tom.
More sense.
Everybody wanted Kellen Moore gone, but now you're going to see what life without Kellen Moore is like.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe it'll be better. Maybe it'll be worse. Maybe it'll be about the same in the end. Who knows?
I don't know.
Get those votes on who you got. KC for the Chiefs.
I don't know, Jim.
PHI for the Philadelphia Eagles. Today's Cowboys Report made possible by Manscaped. Kellen Moore does not have a beard, but I do, and if you do, you got to try out the new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. The leaders in below the waist grooming, helping you out above the chin, or maybe continuing just beyond it as well. 20% off manscaped.com when you use promo code Cowboys. The big news, of course, Kellen Moore is gone and has already found a new offensive coordinator gig. He has mutually parted ways with the Cowboys and then immediately lands the Chargers offensive coordinator job in a span of about 12 hours from announced to, well, maybe it's more like 18, from announced to, hey, I'm going to L.A. there. That's a very quick period of time. The Chargers already requested an interview. They clearly got word of, hey, maybe Kellen does not return as the Cowboys OC. McCarthy will be the de facto offensive coordinator. He will be the play caller for this Cowboys team, which was what I think most of us, myself included, thought was going to be the case when they first hired Mike McCarthy years ago as the Cowboys head coach. Now they will still hire an offensive coordinator, but my hopes for getting any of the big names I'll see in the comment section are not very high. And the reasoning is I don't believe this is that attractive of an actual job for any of the young, innovative, different offensive minds and voices we might want. Yes, the Cowboys have had a top 5 offense, an established quarterback, and the OC wouldn't get the blame, but he's not the play caller. They won't get any credit. And in terms of job advancement, you're not going to be able to say, like, I was the play caller, give me the job. Like, you don't, there's nowhere to go laterally at that point, and you're not really going to get a big pay raise, or you can get pay raise, but not a bigger role for yourself because you're not calling the plays. Head coach is on the hot seat, by the way. The assistant to the play caller role is not a coveted one. It's why teams will try to hire the assistants behind the young offensive minds like a Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan as those non-play calling assistants, but hiring just for the non-OC role isn't that appealing unless it's a Shanahan or McVay or etc. So our first question, was dumping Kellen Moore the right move? We're going to break down some replacements here momentarily, a lot of names on this list, but let me know. Y for yes, it was. N for no, it was not. We're going to begin with some of the fired guy options. Cliff Kingsbury, the former Cardinals head coach, who, you know what? I doubt he takes the job. It'd be fun to bring him in, but Cliff has kind of implied he's not going to coach this year, and non-play calling OC duties I don't think are particularly appealing to a guy like Cliff Kingsbury. Scott Turner is next up on this list. Now, maybe he does not find an OC job, and maybe at that point, this could make sense for him. He, of course, is the son of Norv Turner. I think was scapegoated by the Commanders and Ron Rivera for having Taylor Heineke, Carson Wentz, etc. as the play caller, or the quarterback, I should say, in Washington. I would have interest in Scott Turner. It would require Turner to want to come to Dallas, and I'm not sure that is if he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't find an OC job. In that case, he's on my somewhat realistic short list. Now, who do you want as the Cowboys offensive coordinator? I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's show. So if an ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there. Let me know. Who do you want as the Cowboys' new offensive coordinator to help out Mike McCarthy? Byron Leftwich, again, former offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I would not be surprised if he got an OC role. Maybe a quarterback's coach job like Pittsburgh makes some sense for Leftwich in particular. It would bring in a nice new outside voice. But again, non-play calling OC isn't always the most appealing of the options. I am intrigued, we're going kind of every the one, I guess, in Greg Roman. Roman, I don't want as my play caller. But as a run game focused guy, I have a lot of interest there. Now, maybe some like the Commanders say, oh no, we'll bring in Greg Roman, that's fine. I would have interest though, as alongside your new O-line coach, let Roman kind of take control of the ground game. That works for me. I'm not sure the Cowboys would be able to pull it off, but that's, along with Scott Turner, a good fired option name. Some breaking news here on the Cowboys Report. All you bearded guys, me, Jeremy, not Kellen Moore, Manscaped has launched a beard grooming kit. Try using a bunch of different products to maintain your beard. The Luxury Beard Hedger Pro Kit from Manscaped will take care of you. It is the complete beard maintenance kit, the most complete beard maintenance kit you could ever want. Perfect for the modern man on the go. Beard Hedger, the AC adapter and the USB-C cable, beard shampoo, beard conditioner, beard oil, beard balm, and a travel bag. And as a special bonus, you'll get a free beard accessory pack with a beard brush, beard comb, and beard. Just literally everything you could want to take care of your mane upstairs. You can also get, when you use promo code COWBOYS, 20% off and free shipping. That's manscaped.com, promo code Cowboys. That link is in the comment section and the description of today's show. Manscaped.com, promo code Cowboys, helping out my beard. Even though it's blonde, I can grow one. They were on the chin, it's balls of your face. Manscaped, leaders in below the waist grooming, helping out the balls of your face too. Manscaped.com, promo code Cowboys. Some more fired options here. Marcus Brady, kind of would be in a similar role, non-play calling offensive coordinator. I wouldn't be shocked if he ends up maybe back in Philly if they make some moves along their offensive coaching staff with guys leaving. If you want to just swap out OCs, Joe Lombardi, the Chargers OC, who I don't think is that good at what he does. I would have very limited interest in bringing on a Joe Lombardi, but that's at least a name to throw out there, I suppose. But oof, I don't love that option in the end. All right, now for some coaches who are employed, but maybe you could poach or steal. Eric Bieniemy is getting interviews from others out there. The problem is, well, he's going to go be a play caller, not a non-play caller. So great name, off the list. Bobby Slowick has been a very popular name out there on Cowboys social media because he's a Niners. Shanahan, run game stuff, it all makes sense. Here's the issue. Why would he leave a non-play calling assistant role to come be a non-play caller in Dallas? I'm not sure that's really the route they're looking to go. I don't really buy that for the 49ers, or for the Cowboys and for Slowick. It's a fun idea. I'm not going to get my hopes up there. And we have nonstop Cowboys news and rumors this offseason. The link is below, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Free videos every single day when you guys are subscribed at youtube.com/@CowboysTV. The name I would love to get is Brian Johnson, the Eagles quarterback coach. Not because he wanted to coach Dak at Mississippi State, but I think he's one of the better young offensive guys in the NFL. Johnson's a high-impact assistant coach. I think he's worked with a variety of schemes. I'd love to interview him, at least pick his mind on the Eagles side of it, worst case. But is he going to leave for a non-play calling role when he could probably replace Shane Steichen whenever he leaves? Hopes are low. Todd Monken is one of the better college offense coordinators, getting some interest from teams like the Bucs. But again, non-play calling. Why would he leave? That's what makes me a little bit lower expectation. I've seen many Zach Robinson ideas in the comment section. He's the quarterback's coach right now for the LA Rams. Was seemingly in the mix for the Chargers job. Did not get it thanks to Kellen Moore. But would he want to come be an OC? Maybe Thomas Brown, the Rams assistant head coach, has been getting interviews for head coaching jobs, but hasn't been able to get an actual job at this point. Maybe one of those guys would take the OC title and still not be able to call the plays there. Deuce Staley, who is the associate head coach, I should say, for the Lions, also, again, hasn't gotten a head C job because there is no play calling, kind of a lateral move there. An interesting name, along with guys like a Joe Brady or whoever else, is Clint Kubiak, whose brother, by the way, Klein, is a Cowboys scout. Make note of that. Quarterback's coach for Denver. That did not go very well with Russell Wilson. He could be out of a job. Technically, for now, he is still under contract, but you pair the brothers up, and maybe you get some of that offensive scheme with the zone offensive blocking helps your ground game out in the end. In the end, it will be McCarthy who calls the plays for this Dallas Cowboys team. So what is your confidence level in Mike McCarthy calling the plays? Scale it from 1 on the low end to 10 on the high end. Get those votes as we're going to break down the more likely options for this new Cowboys open offensive coordinator role. First name on the list is Brian Schottenheimer, who is an senior assistant analyst for the Cowboys, mostly helping out Dan Quinn with some game planning of opposing offenses and what he would do, how Dan would stop it, etc. Schottenheimer, I think, is under contract, technically speaking. Could just put him in the OC role, help him design the ground game. I prefer the Schottenheimer idea to the Ben McAdoo idea, and I would put my money on one of those two guys. Ben McAdoo was in the Schottenheimer role this time last year for the Cowboys, takes the Panthers OC job, was never going to work out because that staff was getting fired in the end, and he's a Mike McCarthy buddy. If Mike's going to call the plays, he probably wants someone he knows and trusts and works with that can help do some of the more logistical management stuff beyond just calling the plays on Sunday or Saturday or Monday or Thursday, whenever. Could also see a name like maybe a James Campen, who was, I think, a prime candidate for the open offensive line coaching spot with Joe Philbin gone. That's what had happened before with Green Bay and McCarthy. Former O-line coach with the Panthers. I thought actually did a decent job. O-line coach, sure. OC, no. And Edgar Bennett, who was with Mike McCarthy for a long time in Green Bay, is the receivers coach right now with the Raiders. I will also make a note that you do have to interview at least one outside minority candidate for the updated version of the Rooney Rule. So a McCarthy, Buddy, and Bennett would satisfy it from that standpoint. It's McCarthy's show in the end. And I think because of that, I have low expectations for exactly who the offensive coordinator ends up coming in as. And I don't think it's going to be a big name. I think it's going to be one of your friendly faces that Mike McCarthy knows and trusts because it's his butt on the line this year. I'd love an outside voice. Not going to get my hopes up, though, in the end. All right, who is your favorite superhero? It's Christian Bale's birthday? That's pretty cool. Favorite one, who is it? Jeremy, who you going with?
Jalen Hurts.
That's not an option.
All right, firemen.
That's hero.
So you don't think they're super?
I don't think they have superpowers, no.
Being able to save people from burning buildings.
It's pretty cool.
I think that's pretty super. I mean, I feel like you're really downgrading what they do on a daily basis.
I am not. We're talking superheroes. So Marvel or DC?
Tom's anti-fireman.
Not at all. Not at all.
Marvel.
Well, you got to pick pick one of those heroes. I meant. I did not specify that.
Favorite fiction superhero.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
My favorite fiction superhero. Oh, probably Thor.
Okay. Interesting. I got Doctor Strange, Green Lantern, Spider-Man. I feel like Spider-Man would win the plurality. Your burner account's on one again. The Dark Knight, Superman. Superman is boring to me.
Oh, I mean,
he's overpowered.
I think that's because the Superman movies suck.
They were bad.
Like top 3 superhero movies that you've seen. Me, you, and Jack were seeing Quantumania.
Yeah, absolutely.
He doesn't know it yet.
I mean, but he does know it still. He does know it.
What are your top 3 that you've seen?
Dark Knight.
Yes.
Pick whichever one of the probably Infinity War. I actually like more than Endgame.
Okay.
And then.
Ooh, I actually see a sleeper in there that I didn't even think of.
I really liked Winter Soldier for Captain America.
My top 3 probably Dark Knight. I wasn't even thinking about it until I saw it in the chat. Deadpool.
That first one was really funny. Second one was still good.
Second one was still good.
Yeah.
This new one with Wolverine.
I'm very intrigued by it.
Very intrigued.
We'll see how it goes. South Texas says The Dark Knight because Bruce Wayne could buy the Cowboys from the Joneses. Oh. Remember, Hines Ward survived the attack. From Dark Knight Rises.
I was born in the darkness.
Very impressive that he could outrun the field class.
Give me your Bane impression.
I don't have a good Bane impression. I don't have one. No, I'm not doing it.
I was born in the darkness, Tom. My name's Jerry Jones. I own the Cowboys.
Nice drawl there at the back end there. Some people are saying Black Adam. I did not see it. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, it sucked.
It sucked?
I'm sorry. I tried watching it. I only got through. I'm completely honest. I only got through 40 minutes of it, and I was like, this movie kind of sucks. It
didn't watch it.
I don't know. Personally, what did you watch it? It sucked, right? It was bad.
Joshua says it was lame.
I wanted it to be good so bad, but it gave me spoof vibe. I don't know. The production wasn't very good.
They lost a lot of money on that movie, despite trying to hide that they did.
The dialogue was super cheesy. It was bad acting. It just was not a good movie.
All right, keep those comments coming. Favorite superhero in the comments says, it's mailbag time. At this point, don't bother with hashtag Cowboys. There are way too many super chats to get to.
Yep.
So all the super chats that came in, plus some super thanks over the last week, we'll also hit.
We'll try. If you have a question, get hashtag Cowboys. I might try to fit maybe a
couple,
maybe 3.
Okay.
In there.
Okay.
We'll see.
If they're good, or at least we'll try to troll me. So there you go.
And also we're $17 away from another shot.
Another one? Let's go. Let's get there.
Tom wants some more Henny.
Just like J.R. Smith, baby. Hashtag Cowboys or super chat in the comment section for today's mailbag. This Cowboys Report mailbag made possible by Manscaped. Just like my beard, thanks to their Beard Hedger Kit. Use promo code Cowboys over at manscaped.com to get 20% off and free shipping. That's manscaped.com, promo code Cowboys. All your questions coming in today are either super thanks or they're pretty much super chats. There are a ton of them, especially Michael Walner's doing the $50 super chat. And as you can see on live, it doesn't show the actual emoji sticker. It just shows the description. So pair character right on a firework rocket disappearing away before bursting in the sky. Thank you, Michael, for the $50 super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. What a way to start the mailbag here on the Cowboys. There are also some super thanks I wanted to get to. From G Sound says, thanks for the good news about Dan Quinn. That, of course, was on our Dan Quinn gets to stick around as the Cowboys defensive coordinator video. Thank you for watching, my friend. Super thanks is still available on YouTube. I know not everyone can watch the live shows, so it's a way for you to donate outside of live. And we'll still give you shout-outs, answer your questions, whatever. If you super thanks, you can check it out. It's a little heart with the $sign in the middle of it, just above the comment section. From Matt Batten, several more super chats here. He says, draft Tennessee wide receiver Jalen Hyatt, Jahmyr Gibbs in the second round. Yes to 2 live streams a week. We will have another live stream Thursday night, prime time. So you guys are getting your requests. We'll see how it goes. Prime time Thursday for you. I'm fine with Hyatt. Brings you speed. Then Gibbs brings you speed too. Not quite sure if they're going to be like the most obvious option, but they certainly fit in that range. Matt Batten had several super chats. He also said to hire Zach Robinson from the Rams to help out Dak, along with Hyatt and Gibbs. So I'm not sure you can get Zach Robinson. I'm not sure he wants to go be a non-play calling OC, which he's kind of in that role and has a better stock situation with Sean McVay than he will with Mike McCarthy. He also says, along with some other ones there, to go get DeAndre Hopkins in a trade. Hopkins is a fun idea. I think you might be able to get him for a second-round pick and maybe another day 3 pick, but you'd have to pay him a big new contract, and you got to pay Lamb. Do you want to invest that amount of money in a wide receiver? I'm not sure you do, especially one who's played fewer games than Amari Cooper has the past 2 years. What do you think? Do you want DeAndre Hopkins in a trade? Y for yes, N for no. Vote for me in the comment section. A few more from that, but we promise to give him some shout-outs here. Once again, he wants to hire Zach Robinson after the firing of Kellen Moore. Matt has some super chats we'll get to later on in today's show, too. Hayden Miller says, trade Dak for Rodgers, draft a QB, same cap hit. It's not the same cap hit. If you trade him right now, and you could make it work a little bit more if you did it like after June 1st, but no one ever does that because you don't get him until June 1st. It's actually about $70 million you'd be paying, actually over $7 million you'd be paying Dak and Rodgers this year. That's just not good financial move. Chris B, thoughts on Big Mike calling the plays? It's like it's his last big stand. He's taken all the responsibility. Fear is it crumbles and Kellen is great. That's the fear. I'm going to be nervously hopeful about Mike McCarthy calling the plays moving forward. From really depressed Cowboys fan, Super Bowl prediction. I have the Eagles winning 27-20. Very possible outcome. I think the Eagles are a fantastic football team. I would like if the Joneses went, maybe we should be a little bit aggressive in the offseason. Not sure they'll do that in the end. From Jeremy Chuggs' burner, wouldn't mind Bijan if they did anything in free agency. Seems like they rely too much on the draft. Last year felt like a soft rebuild. I don't disagree. It would not surprise me if they didn't do much of anything in free agency, which, yes, would absolutely break my heart. Manscaped has launched the Beard Hedger. They're taking care of your other head and the facial hair on it by utilizing the single greatest beard pro kit out there. It's got the actual razor, right? The Beard Hedger, the AC adapter, USB-C cable to make charging easier, beard shampoo, beard conditioner, beard oil, beard balm, a travel bag, bonus pack, you get the accessories. It's the beard brush, the beard comb, the beard scissors. So many products, all to make that head look great. 20% off and free shipping when you use promo code Cowboys over at manscaped.com. 20% off manscaped.com when you use promo code Cowboys. That link, by the way, will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. Big ups to Manscaped for sponsoring things here at the Cowboys Report. More supers. Oh, so many of them. Draft USC wide receiver Jordan Addison. I'm down. I'm not sure he's going to be there, but he does fit what I think you need at the wide receiver position. From Aaron Evans, thoughts on Kellen Moore's departure. Cowboys ranked second in points scored and yards gained under Moore. More credit to Dak and company or Kellen Moore. It's a great question of who gets the blame, who gets the credit for when the offense does well, top 5 last couple years, when it doesn't do well, losing in the games that matters the most and the offense struggling. It's probably a bit of column A, probably a bit of column B. But the real answer, I don't think we're going to know until we see how things go this year, next year. Maybe they're both good. Maybe they're both not as good next year either. From Matt Batten, hire Zach Robinson, cut Zeke, draft Gibbs. Should we trade for Judy or D-Hop? Love the show. Thanks for not being rude to me. Of course, Matt. Happy to have you here. Appreciate you watching. I actually would like to trade for Jerry Judy. I don't know if they would do that. The Broncos, I should say. because they're still trying to win with Russ, I suspect, although that search has been kind of a dicey one so far. I'd call. I doubt I'm going to get an offer that would be good enough from the Cowboys' perspective. Speaking of OC, Minty Fresh. You got me, Jeremy. Hire Romo as OC. A non-play calling role for Romo makes way more sense than just giving him the play calling duties because you like that he's good on air. Look, Romo, is not. I don't think he's been as great on air of late. I feel like he's kind of been away from the game a little bit there. I personally have no desire to hire a coach who has never coached, never done this thing, and say, you can now call all the offensive plays. If he wants to be my quarterback's coach, sure. Romo ain't giving up the ridiculous deal he has from CBS Sports to come take a higher stress job with way less pay and just not as much fun. So Romo ain't happening. But realistically, who do you want to hire as the OC? Let me know in the comments section. All is well. I think Dallas would love to get Devin Witherspoon. His highlights are crazy. He said he'd love to play for Quinn. I mean, look, the players know now. Link yourself to Dallas. Good things will potentially happen for you. I'd be surprised if they moved up. I love Witherspoon. I'm a big fan. Great production this year at Illinois. Little skinny. Not sure he's the fastest cornerback out there. I'd love him in Dallas. If he's there at 26, let's ride. I'm not going to assume, however, that you trade up for him. I'd be a bit surprised if they were that aggressive. And what I think is a pretty good cornerback class, or in that mid to late round 1, early round 2 range. Michael Walden, Cowboys fan here, but bringing that trophy to the NFC East. Jeremy loves it. I'll be cheering for the Chiefs myself. Cool Sharky. Get Eric B. since he's used to not calling plays, just relays plays to Mahomes that Andy Reid calls. But I think if you're Eric Bieniemy, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, Mike McCarthy, Dak Prescott. That's a pretty easy decision in terms of who you'd rather be the OC for. Valentina Urbina, or I think it's Urbina, get Dak and Zeke out. I think you'll get Zeke out. That contract's very easy to cut. Maybe a pay cut, but if Zeke is back at his cap hit, once again, fire the organization into the sun. Fargate 01. I am on board with letting Kellen go, but I hope we don't stay in-house and McCarthy calling plays. Rather have outside help like Leftwich and a new quarterback coach. I would like some new ideas. I don't really think that McCarthy's going to be a true full-on outside idea, but I agree, but my hopes are low. From Grant Rainwater, pick up Deron Payne and trade for Don Hopkins. You can also get David Montgomery for cheap. Not sure how cheap Montgomery would be, but if you want a cheaper than Zeke's current cap hit, RB1B to pair with Tony Pollard, Montgomery's a pretty quality name who I don't think will be as expensive as some of the other backs in free agency this year. More from Matt Batten. Yes, love super thanks. You're the best guys. Thank you, Matt, and everyone else who watches us here at the Cowboys Report. He says Zach Robinson helped Matt Stafford with the takeoff problems with the Rams. I would like Robinson. That's a new idea. You get some McVay elements. Expectations are low. Christian J. Pierce says Dak over Rodgers. Come on, guys, it's pretty obvious. I think in general, we hold different quarterbacks to different standards. And imagine the outcry if Dak Prescott lost a win-and-in game against the Detroit Lions and didn't play very well. Certainly would not be clamoring for a trade of that quarterback. Chris B., going to find out if it's Dak gets the credit for the offense or if it's Kellen. Could possibly be McCarthy and Dak's last year if they fail. I'm curious what they do this offseason with Dak's contract because just restructured is my mindset. But I will say, I think in general, the Joneses are very good at setting up a different scapegoat every year. No, even though for the last almost 30 years, you haven't found anything that's worked, and there's been one constant, and that's ownership. All right, 3 super chats in a row here from Matt, so we'll read them off. Why pay Diggs? Don't trade for Ramsey. And DJ Charkey's a good receiver signed with the Lions. Don't re-sign him. Not sure how much he's going to cost you, but he does bring you the speed there. And then this one was on Diggs. We should pay Diggs, but only at $17 or $16 million. So that would come in below the likes of Xavier Howard, below Trey White, below Darius Slay, J.C. Jackson, what Byron Jones got initially. It's barely top 10 cornerback money. I don't think Diggs accepts that. I think if you want to pay Diggs early, got to pay him big-time money. I'm fine doing that. I think if you offer 16, 17, I think it's more of the same lowballing moves from the Cowboys front office. From Joey, draft a quarterback in round 1 like Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, whether it's for the Cowboys or any franchise, will either be a, wow, we got a top 5-ish quarterback in the NFL, and we all just got extended in big, fat new contracts, or we're all fired, and we just set the franchise back like 3 or 4 years. Because he's going to need time. You're sinking in the time because he's a raw prospect, and either he develops into the next Josh Allen, or he ends up being, the Jake Lockers of the world, where it's a big arm, he's an athlete, but it never actually pans out there. The upside's very much there. But man, that downside is terrifying too. So when it comes to the draft, who do you want the Cowboys to take? Let me know in the comments section, and make sure you guys are subscribed. We'll have plenty of draft coverage for you here on the Cowboys Report. Don't miss out. Hit that sub button for free right now. Several from Mark we'll get to here in a little bit. Tom just with the Dalton comment from a few days back. It's when I said you can't do, well, he kind of fills it in here. But over the rush light quarterback and $30 million, a ton of picks for Dak. Dalton's okay, but he had 0 practice during the COVID era in a new system. I mean, he had enough practice as far as I'm concerned. He's also been the same guy with the Saints. This is McCarthy's time to show he's an offensive guru. Never made sense of a rookie play caller instead of a guru calling plays. Wide receiver, guard, DT, and we are set. I think you're right on the position groups there. A lot of pressure on Mike now. If this does not work, he's probably fired. From Will Marshall, maybe Dan Quinn is a better DC than head coach. Let's focus on one area. If Mike falls next year, I don't think DQ wants that or any head coaching job. I think he does want a head coaching job. This is the first time I've ever disagreed with a Will Super Chat. He might be better as a DC, by the way. But if you're Dan Quinn, especially as a defensive mind, you get one more chance. It has to be the right chance, especially when you're getting basically a lifetime DC contract right now from Jerry Jones. Like, he ain't going anywhere. So it has to be the correct job. Maybe it's Dallas. Last year it was Denver. He didn't get it. And I don't think there was really one this year that appealed to him all that much. So he will be patient because he can afford to be. From Mark, the trade draft, doesn't he have a no-trade clause? He does. Don't want to extend him. Dak just had to agree to a trade, would save a ton of money. If it's after June 1st, you do, but the timing does not make a lot of sense there. Dak would have to agree to a trade, yes. I would do this. This is just my idea. Restructure him, and if it's bad again or worse or whatever, then just eat the money and actually go rebuild. Because here's my mindset. Matt is kind of in a similar mind. Don't trade Dak. It's an awful idea. I love you guys. And you know what? Let's go to Michael's here, too. It's all kind of the same end result for me. When it's time to accept the rebuild, I have no faith in this current roster. Maybe bring another receiver that'll help Dak for 2 years. I agree on the wide receiver standpoint. Here's my mindset. We, for the most part, agreed, hey, asking Dak to carry CeeDee Lamb and Noah Brown and Jalen Tolbert, it went the way we thought it might go. It wasn't good enough. I don't think anyone believes Dak's on that Mahomes, Burrow, whatever tier you want to make it of, guys that can just will you deep, which those guys have talent too, right? So what I would do, how about you go be aggressive for once? Restructure Dak, bring that cap hit down way low, or you're talking $22 million in savings by doing that. Be aggressive. If it fails, actually rebuild. Eat the bad money for Dak for a year or two. That's fine. You're rebuilding. Be bad for 2 years. Actually embrace a bottoming out instead of doing all this half-measure stuff where you're drafting mid to late 20s and you're not really getting that same type of quarterback unless you get super, super lucky again. Kind of an issue. So no more half measures. Be aggressive. If it fails, then rebuild. From Mark, I heard Bieniemy is a dick. That's why he's not a head coach yet. I've heard he does not interview well. I've heard that's a big problem.
He does have some past demons to exercise.
He does have some off-field stuff that he's had.
And
he's had some off-field stuff.
And such.
All right, some more supers here. Chris B, come on. They're just going to sign Brian Schottenheimer. Him or McAdoo is my guess.
Macadont.
Oh, that's a good one, Jeremy. Matt Batten, Zach Robinson now.
It's too easy.
I like it. Jeremy, is this your burner?
What?
This super chat. Is this you?
No, this is not
Yeah.
me.
Ask her if I can have your number. Also think Micah Parsons is cute. Do you? I do. You're cuter. Also, do you think Dak will have a rebound year? It's definitely, I think, someone I know trolling. I think so. I would be much more worried about Dak's turnover problems if that wasn't a one-year outlier. If he wasn't historically really good at protecting the football. And hey, if you stop calling all curls and get some first downs out on third down, I think things will get even out a little bit there. This was the 50-piece from Michael, by the way. We owe another shot, and we're 35 and 2 from doing 2 shots here on the Cowboys Report. Matt Baden, I love the show. You're the best. Love you guys. Made my day. Thank you for watching, Matt. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. Crispy Bacon. Don't know if I want O-line in the first, but DeJuan Jones testing numbers are insane. Would we draft him, potentially let Steele walk? I think DeJuan Jones will go kind of late 1, mid to early 2. Jones at the Senior Bowl came in with just massive arm length, off the charts length, and that will appeal to many teams, including the Dallas Cowboys. But you would, of course, make a call on Steele, then potentially draft Jones. But if he's there in round 2, let's ride. Mark, KC is scary. Ton of picks in the draft. Who do we draft, Tom? Thor rules by far. Congrats on your team, but know this, Dak is not Mahomes.
Thank you, Mark.
I don't even think Dak thinks he's Mahomes. At least I would hope not.
We also both agree on the Thor. Thor's badass.
You guys are bestest friends. I actually did, Mark, it's on the channel. We put it out yesterday before the Kellen gone news came out. I looked at a bunch of different round 1 draft targets. I don't love this draft, but at 26, there will be a good player for you at receiver or corner.
It feels like this draft isn't very top-heavy, but it has a lot of depth.
I feel like it's middle of the pack, kind of. Like, I think the back-end depth is not very good because of NIL, because of the COVID year. Guys going back to school, especially like a quarterback.
Yeah.
It's thin. I agree, kind of top-heavy. It's a little bit light. In the mid-rounds, I think is where the value ends up being.
Matt, another one. He's just sending in a ton of 2s today.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that. Brian Parson, Nate on the show with the cap at $224 million. The Cowboys in a good cap situation.
I should have hit this in the
it's fine. So that number was pretty much the projected number for like SpoTrack, Over the Cap, all the cap sites out there. So you still have around the 7-ish million that you're over, but you can make 6 moves and save $70 million. We'll break it down on a future show. Don't worry. That's coming up here in a little bit.
That's what we call a tease.
That's what we call a tease, baby. Mark, even if my dream came true, we traded Dak Prescott, what would Jerry Jones do with all the capital we did with the money from Cooper and Collins? That's my real issue, Mark, is I don't trust them to change their ways when the Joneses have been the problems. Like that's the constant. Only constant for the drought you've been on. It's the only one. Sam, worst case scenario, us begging to have Kellen Moore back next season.
If Justin Herbert wins like the MVP next year,
which he might. Like I am very curious to see, because there's been a pattern over the past 3 years with Kellen Moore. Starts off fun, they get creative, there's outside zone stuff, there's motion, then they get vanilla later in the year, and they lean on some questionable play design stuff. Is that just who Kellen Moore is? Or is the call coming from inside the house and his bosses are saying, hey, you need to do this? And if it's the latter, nothing will change ever, no matter who your quarterback is. If it's the former, okay, maybe things could change there. Stila says, I love you, Tom. Thank you. Chris B., this is McCarthy's last chance, either NFC Championship or bye.
Is that how you feel?
Again, I think there's a scenario of like they lose 35-34 on a missed field goal at the end of the game in the NFC divisional round. Like he'd probably come back, right? But he's entering year 4. It's a 5-year contract. Mike ain't extended him, or Jerry ain't extended him. Pug Racer, Kellen Moore's biggest weakness was Dak throwing interceptions, which was it's been an issue for 1 year. Let's be clear on that. It's also augmented by your final drive, your final real drive of the game. You run 14 routes and 10 of those are curls. For a defense that is sitting on the curl route. There's some symbiotic relationship failure there. Chris B, if this offseason is quiet, don't expect much next year. Look, you're right. If you just go, we'll run it back again, you're really banking on guys like Tolbert to suddenly take a major step forward, which, I don't know if that's going to be the case there.
We are, what is it, $27 away from another shot?
Yeah, I think it's about right.
27 away from another shot. We owe this shot right now. Let me pull up this question for you, though, Tom.
Okay. Is Nick Sirianni the most hated man in the entire NFL? If so, why? We're now $12 away. Jeremy will bring up some shots here. As I've told you before, Jeremy, and Chase too. 22. #math. Nick Sirianni is the most Philly coach for Philly. And that is a good thing for the Eagles and a negative for every other fan base in the NFL.
Chase, Sirianni most
Cheers.
hated man in the NFL?
Might be Deshaun, though. Might be Deshaun Watson.
Sirianni most hated man in the NFL?
I won't say most hated, but Pete Philadelphia, Trent Williams, Rose, Kevon Wallace, down the turf. He's like,
And he's hyping him up. Yeah. It's what makes him great for Philly and why other fan bases don't care for him. He's Philly through and through.
Harrison hates him.
What's cool is that Nick Sirianni gets a celebration.
You know you do. You know.
Ah.
He has a celebration.
I've heard
last week,
Harrison
which was
so
cool.
many times and be like, this dude's a D-bag.
Great for Philly.
He's perfect for Philly.
Great for Philly.
Doesn't work as head coach.
Yeah, yesterday he's able to celebrate a birthday in the Super Bowl. It's been a little off.
Yeah, I know. You all know that. All right, we are 17 in Supers. Where there were some more Supers too, Jeremy. We'll see if we get here. Other segment coming up here in a little bit, but there are Supers to get to first. Which is funny because Goodell's just the ownership, I don't know, shield. I'll stick with that analogy. He just, the meme of the guy blocking the arrows coming over while the person sleeps peacefully.
I feel so
Goodell
bad
to the
for
owners.
I feel so bad for him. What does he make?
Oh, I know. He's making
Like,
$50 million, whatever it is a year.
Yeah, $50 million.
But he took that $1 salary.
Roger Goodell makes more than every other NFL player does per year. Put
Let that
that in
sink
your mind.
in.
These guys are getting hit in the face by people going 60. I was going to say 60. I almost did coop math with the dogs.
Going 20.
Running 20 miles per hour
Yeah.
to the face.
Yeah.
They're running 60 miles an hour.
All right, some more Supers coming in. We are 12 away still, I think, unless one didn't come through. Or
In the face.
Jeff Watson. Cowboys not going to an NFC Championship game until Jimmy is in the Ring of Honor. F. Rowdy. All I will say, Jeff,
Watch
is
the segment.
when we get to our perfect off-season plan, watch all the way through. From Powder PZ, draft Stetson Bennett in the 3rd. No. I think Stetson Bennett's going to be a nice backup quarterback.
Will he get drafted?
I think yes, he will.
The Chat Sports office is going to go crazy whenever he gets drafted, or at the end of the draft whenever he's not.
Like
A little inside behind the curtain. There's a little Chat Sports bet going on between two of our coworkers whether or not Stetson's going to get drafted.
So I just want to put this in perspective for you guys here. Stetson Bennett, I thought played pretty well this year for Georgia, even though he's like 5'10", 185. Like, he's very small. He's a good athlete, pretty solid accuracy, but the arm strength isn't all that special. It screams backup, especially when you put it this way. He looked good for Georgia. Stetson Bennett and Lamar Jackson were in the same class. Imagine taking current Lamar Jackson and putting him on Georgia and how unbelievably good he looks. So Bennett is older with a capped physical skill set. I know he won a lot. So did A.J. McCarron. He's a backup. I'd be very surprised if he's your franchise guy or whatever. From Pug Racer. We all hate that raccoon-eyed mofo. I'm pretty sure it's about Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
But he's a better coach than any Cowboys coach since Jimmy Johnson.
Facts.
Props for him taking his team to the Super Bowl. I don't disagree. Brandon Grasso, just $1. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. We are
right.
11 away.
11 away.
11 away. We'll see if any more come in during our final segment.
How about this? We're 11 away.
Mm-hmm.
How about we do a little last segment shot clock?
Okay.
Every $10 super chat we get during this segment is a shot.
Can we bump that to 20?
Every $10 super chat
How about
we
15?
get. Every $10 super chat we get.
Fine. You take the majority then.
Okay, we'll split.
Okay.
Every $10 super chat that comes in, we're taking a shot.
Bet. Start the clock, and then we'll just go to loop after we do all the shots there.
Oh, I actually forgot to tell you. They're trying to film the Saints in here, so.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
And they're doing the two.
Okay.
The two cam.
Then we'll just end it. Whatever. It's fine. Kind of bad planning, but okay. It's fine. All right. Get those super chats in. Any $10 super chat that comes in, me and mostly Jeremy will do shots once we get through our final segment of today's show. This is the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey, and unlike Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, the Joneses, Jones-I, whatever it is, I have a plan to actually help the Cowboys this offseason. Is it guaranteed to work? No, probably not. But it certainly helps you at least try to get further than what you have in recent years. In total, it's 12 steps. It's kind of merged a couple times with longer ones, but that's quite okay. We're going to go from 1 to 12, kind of in order of the off-season, how I would do things here. At number 1, it's the first thing you have to do if you're the Dallas Cowboys in terms of roster moves. Create some salary cap space. That is essential for the Dallas Cowboys. That is step number 1. As things sit currently, you're actually over the salary cap. You have to free up a little bit of money. The good news is it's not that hard to do. The Cowboys can make a ton of space available by cutting guys like Ezekiel Elliott post-June 1st. Maybe Tyron Smith retires, $13.6 million. Jordan Lewis, $4.7. Those two numbers after June 1st to help you do some other things, hint, hint, later on in the offseason. You can restructure Dak Prescott, Zach Martin, DeMarcus Lawrence as well. And with all those moves and a variety of other smaller ones, if you so choose to do, I have freed up $70 million. Now, I can't use all of that right away, but with a snap of my finger, I have more cap space in free agency to spend than I've had in a very long time. Now, we're going to keep you guys covered on everything going on around the Cowboys this offseason, so make sure you are subbed to the number 1 most watched Cowboys Report, or Cowboys YouTube channel out there. Free videos every single day, and at this point, multiple times per day. Hit that sub button right now. Number 2, and I wasn't sold on this one, but I'm going to get on board with it. Paying Tony Pollard, and I'll go a little bit more team-friendly. I think he'd maybe get on the open market. Here's my contract plan. 3 years, $30 million, most of that guaranteed. The cap hit, by the way, is $6 million this year because you back little like you do everything. He gets some assurances, some guaranteed money coming off of the injury. I'm not that worried about the broken leg, and oh, by the way, I get to have a speedy back with not that much mileage on it. So it might be a little on the low side. I think it's a doable deal here. So do you want to pay Tony Pollard? Y for yes, N for no. Vote for me in the comment section what you want to do with Tony Pollard. Coming off the injury in the great year, why to pay him and not to? Some other off-season re-signings I want to do. I'll focus on the big names here. You can bring back some smaller guys that cost you next to nothing. 3 big deals I'm doing. Leighton Vander Esch, 3 years, $23.5 million. Again, maybe a little bit on the low side, but I think the history of next stuff is going to be a turnoff for other teams. A $4.5 million cap hit. Donovan Wilson gets the Jaron Kearse deal. Copy-paste, 2 years, $10 million. Cap hits barely at 3. Terrence Steele could do a longer-term deal or ride with the first-round tender. It's probably about $6 million either way, cap hit-wise. So with all those moves, we'll round up, plus some, the minor moves here and there, to about $25 million in cap space gone. I can't get to the Zeke money yet. I can't get to the Tyron Smith money yet, but I still have upwards of $20 million to spend in free agency. That's a lot of spending money to make some splash moves in free agency. Now, I would do this. With the Cowboys front office, they might not. What is your confidence level in this Cowboys front office led by Jerry, Stephen Jones, and Will McClay as well? Get those votes in for me in the comment section. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. Let's get some new blood in here. No more signing a bunch of guys no one's heard of. First move, I'm going to sign a fast wide receiver. Couple names to consider. Maybe it's DJ Chark of the Lions. Maybe it's Mecole Hardman of the Chiefs. Paris Campbell, the Colts slot receiver. Darius Slayton played quite well for the Giants. Nelson Aguilar is older, coming off a down year. I don't think, maybe Slayton, I don't think a lot of those guys are going to command high-end, super big money. I would do for one of them, pick which one you want, but a 1-year, $3 million deal. Bit of a buy low, you can add some incentives that are not likely to be counted against the cap, and you bring something to this team that you don't really have right now. That's actual speed. You, especially outside of Tony Pollard, and Cavani Turpin's a gadget player, you don't have speed on this roster right now. The Cowboys Report is sponsored by Athletic Greens. I take AG1 by Athletic Greens literally every day. Get comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition at athleticgreens.com/chatsports. I gave AG1 a try because I wanted better gut health, want a supplement that actually tastes great. Take AG1 in the morning, and it makes me feel prepared to take on my day. Once I got Baby Leva set up with her breakfast, I make my AG1. I don't feel the need for caffeine in the morning anymore, and I feel energized throughout the day. Plus, AG1 empowers the gut for whole body health. Covering my nutritional basis for the day literally couldn't be any easier. It's why I trust Athletic Greens. I mix 1 small scoop of AG1 with water and drink it first thing each morning. Done. I like that it costs less than $3 per day. It's pretty good if you ask me, as far as I'm concerned. It's a really effective daily habit with the highest quality sourced ingredients. It's the old win-win. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Check it out, folks. The link is in the comment section and the description of today's video. You got to try out AG1 by Athletic Greens. Trust me, you guys will not regret it. athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Number 5, bring me my fatty. Sign a stud defensive tackle in free agency. 3 names I will mention, various costs involved. I would love nothing more than to bring in Daron Payne. This is my dream free agent signing. I would not be surprised if he asked for more than what the Cowboys were prepared to give him. Maybe the ages for Javon Hargrave, Dalvin Tomlinson, who've hit free agency once already, drive down their overall contracts. Payne is younger. Any of these 3 guys would give you maybe an upgrade over Hankins you could also bring back if you want to, and give you a disruptive, talented defensive tackle. My max offer, 4 years, $69 million, a $10 million cap hit in year 1. It might not be enough for Payne. It might be too much for a Tomlinson. You can adjust it for the player. But again, you have the money to do it if you want to. Step number 6. How about you sign an offensive guard, especially in the event that Tyron Smith does retire. Keep Tyler Smith at left tackle, and go get a plug-and-start guard on the offense. Let's be honest, in the event that Tyron Smith does retire, you're not actually paying that much for your offensive line anymore. It's Zach Martin, and that's kind of it, minus some Terrence Steele stuff. 3 names. Ben Powers from the Ravens. Isaac Suamilo, I botched that one. Siamalo, thank you, Jeremy. Should have the pronunciation in front of me. If he signs, I'll learn it. For the Eagles, Dalton Reisner for the Broncos. About 4 years, $40 million. Might be a little bit on the low end for one of those guys, high end for the other. Reisner's the one that jumps out to me. Maybe it's a fair offer. He's coming off a bit of a down year. But in the Broncos offense there, $6 million cap hit in year 1. I actually have invested in a big-time guard to help out your offense overall. Number 7. I'm going to let Dalton Schultz leave. And I feel bad about that. I think Schultz is a good football player. I also think that without Dak, he's not nearly as effective, because I watched him with Cooper Rush. not make as many plays. In the end, Schultz is a good player. But I can take that, whatever, $12 million or $10 million it would cost, and I can give it to Tony Pollard, a left guard. I can go pay for a defensive tackle. I don't want to pay him great money, top-end, tight-end money, when I think I have some young pieces and guys like Jake Ferguson Hendershot that I can ride with instead. So what do you want to do with Dalton Schultz? Type K for keep him, or type in L for let leave. You can let me know in the comment section. We're bringing back a Cowboys legend too, about Byron Jones, who I fully expect to be cut by the Miami Dolphins. And they saved $13.6 million. He missed all of last season due to an injury. The Byron Jones in Miami, especially because he was hurt all year, is not the one you remember in Dallas. He just hasn't been that type of player. Now, the numbers actually look a little bit rough. No interceptions. That's not his game. High yardage. Remember what the Dolphins have asked out of him. It's a lot of man coverage with little safety help. So you're going to get burnt. But the Dolphins, with Brian Flores, had success with Byron Jones and Xavier Howard out there. I don't think he'd be that expensive. And would give you a shorter-term cornerback option while Kelvin Joseph, Nashawn Wright, or maybe more likely a Deron Bland, Israel Mukuamu, and a draft pick play out better in the long run. That's it for free agency. I filled needs at cornerback. I filled needs at offensive line, at wide receiver, at defensive tackle. I can now pretty much go best player available. I brought back Van Rush. I brought back Wilson. I can just take the best guy on the board, and maybe that's Bijan Robinson for you now. Maybe you feel better taking Bijan if you add a bunch of free agents down. Maybe it's another receiver, and then it becomes a one-year deal. You don't bring back the Hardman or whoever at wide out. Maybe Michael Mayer falls to you. Just go, okay, we'll take the good tight end. Maybe Broderick Jones is there, and then you can move on from Terrence Steele in a year if you want to. Maybe a DT like Brian Brzee falls to you. Maybe it's a cornerback, Porter, Witherspoon, Ringo. Maybe a safety falls to me and makes me happy in the end. It's a very long list of draft targets, and we broke that down more in depth for you guys on Sunday before the Kellen Moore news broke. Video looks like that, the thumbnail. I'll put it in the comment section and the description of today's show, but make sure you guys are subscribed so you don't miss out on anything in the future. That is some of the ideal options for me in terms of round one. Because I've been able to be aggressive in free agency, I can just go BPA throughout the draft. I don't have to pigeonhole myself into, well, I got to get a tackle. I got to get a defenseman. I can just go best overall. So you know what? Whether it's round one, day three, I can get me a back. I can add a receiver, a tight end, maybe multiple offensive linemen. If you want to go quarterback on day three, cool. Why not? I have the picks now. I can get a corner, another linebacker in case Damone Clark, Jabril Cox aren't it. Defensive line. I can now just add talent and not force myself to, I got to get this spot. That's why you should be a bit more aggressive in free agency. Number 11, I'm going to pay both Trevon Diggs and CeeDee Lamb this offseason. And it will be expensive. Make no mistake, that's how it works when you have talented young players. No more lowball and BS here. Remember, I could do this after June 1st, and I don't pay them that much right now. I got plenty of backup money from the Zeke Elliott, Tyron Smith moves. Diggs gets 5 years, $103 million. He becomes the second highest paid cornerback, and in a year or two, he's no longer top 5 at the position. That's a good move as far as I'm concerned. CeeDee Lamb, meanwhile, I can wait until after Diggs because Lamb has, well, he's got the 5th-year option. So it's 4 years since I have the 5th-year option still. $114 million, that's a lot of money. Second highest paid wide receiver, and ideally, I do it before guys like Justin Jefferson get paid, and that deal looks even better because receivers and the contracts only go up. Big money? Yeah, but I can make it work. I will carry over cap space if I do this route the way I have laid it out. But most importantly, number 12, Jimmy Johnson goes into the Ring of Honor at long last. Jerry gets over himself, and we cancel Rowdy. It is long past time that cancel culture has come for Rowdy. The Cowboys have had no success with Rowdy involved in this franchise. He has been a curse, whether we admit it or not. Get rid of the Jimmy Johnson Ring of Honor curse, put him in, get rid of Rowdy, and take care of that issue moving forward. Is it a little bit of a superstitious? I'd say I'm a little stitious, but I'm on board doing that if I were the Dallas Cowboys. One more time, your plan. I'm going to create some cap space, $70 million. I'll pay Tony Pollard. I'll pay Wilson. I'll pay Van Der Esch. I'll add a cheap, short-term, fast wide receiver. I'll sign a stud defensive tackle. I'll sign a starting left guard with Tyler Smith now at left tackle. I'll let Dalton Schultz leave. I'll bring back Byron Jones on the mega cheap. I'll go pure BPA in round 1 and throughout the draft. I'll pay Diggs. I'll pay Lamb. I'll get Jimmy in the Ring of Honor, and I'll cancel Rowdy. So grade it. My offseason plan, A, B, C, D, or F. How well do you think I did in the end? Get those votes in for me in the comment section. We'll give some shout-outs here. A+, A, solid B+, A+++++, A-, A-, A-. Don't know what the E's for. A+, C-, A, B, A. Tom for GM. And Jeremy, that's all within the realm of possibility, if you wanted to. If you wanted to. Don't let Steven trick you with the pie lie. You can make it happen.
If only the Cowboys had, ownership, GM more like you,
Yeah.
Or more like me. Jewish people have been doing very well as, leading teams and being the heads of front office. I mean, look at my boy Howie.
Am I allowed to laugh at that or no?
Yeah, you're allowed.
Okay.
I'll condone it.
Oh, that's fine.
But I mean, hey, Howie Roseman, not too shabby.
But for the record, he should be the unanimous executive of the year. Anyone who did not vote for Howie should lose their vote.
Can we go back? How did the Eagles trade for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson for so little?
I mean, they did like this stuff with like Hassan Reddick on a great deal. Like Javon Hargrave was on a great deal. Like, being aggressive works. Go figure, right? Like, it blows my mind.
And it's crazy because it's like the Cowboys are like, well, we can draft. It's almost like if you hit in the draft, kind of like the Eagles did with a couple Landon Dickerson, Devontae Smith, a couple other guys that they've drafted the past couple seasons. Jalen Hurts in the second round, and then you also supplement that with free agency. It's almost like your team's like really good.
It's almost like as well. If you're not doing one of those things, you're just limiting your options.
I mean, yeah, you could still be good, but
if one team's great at both and you're great at one and not doing the other one.
Imagine if the Cowboys this offseason signed Javon Hargrave, James Bradbury, and they traded for A.J. Brown. Where would the Cowboys be now?
They might still be playing.
Howie.
Howie did good. Howie did good. All right.
Ford's a quarter Jewish.
Quite a few A's on that one there. We'll get to some more supers, but first, we will have Cowboys Report. I'm going to call it Cowboys Report After Dark. Thursday night, prime time. I got to be careful on the swear words. It's still not quite like full-fledged Pack After Dark, so I got to be careful there. Thursday night. So make sure you guys tune in. Don't miss out. Two live shows in a week.
Makes me think of Nick at Night.
Yeah, After Dark. Some good shows on Nick and Night. All right, Pug Racer. Bennett is taller than Young by at least 2 inches. I'll take that bet. I don't think he has 2 inches on Bryce Young. I might say like an inch.
Where are you measuring?
Combine. Foot to head. All right, Pedro Zacario. Broderick Jones, first round. Tyler Smith to left guard. Gibbs or Hyde in the second. I'm not sure you'll get Broderick Jones in round 1, but I wouldn't be mad at that plan. Although I do think Smith played better than I think expected at left tackle.
Tom, here's a shot for you.
Oh, I do this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do the next.
Oh, you'll do the next one. From Mark, given the FAs, we'll also do we do the 269 shop?
You do this one, and then we'll do the 269 one together.
Oh, okay. Given the FAs available, draft position need, what would be your realistic best case? Oh, shit.
I guess I will do the next one.
I spilled the Henny. I spilt it. I was like all the way pouring over there. It's okay, though. Getting one for agency signing would be great. I'll start with one, and then I will ask for more. They should do more than one. Mark, best thing about losing is Jerry Jones' facial expression. Well, there are many good things about losing, so I'm on board with that one, Mark.
Crispy's right. That's a party foul.
That was a party foul. That's what I get for trying to read off and not pay attention to what I'm pouring there. Crispy, like your plan, Tom, but I doubt any of that happens. That's then take it up with Steven. Take it up with Steven. Zach to there, but Tom, you only have so much pie to go around. That's what Steven will tell you. Steven, we
only have these many.
We are a month-ish away from Stephen Jones being asked about free agency. And he's going to say, you know what? We only have so much pie to go around. We got to worry about that Diggs deal, that Lamb deal, that Micah deal coming down the line.
Tyler Smith played very well this year.
Got it.
You know how much premier left tackles are making in the NFL right now? You got to save up.
Yeah.
Jerry,
he's going to say it.
Jerry
he will
acts,
lie to your face.
Jerry acts like free agency is like you're a 16-year-old saving up for your first car. You're like, well, I can't go out with the boys tonight. I mean, like, how am I ever going to buy the car that I want in 2 years?
The pie analogy can still work of, like, you are out of pie. And with the salary cap being manipulatable, there we go, able to be manipulated, you can just make some more freaking pie in the kitchen. You have all the supplies.
Make some pie, Steven.
Got the pie crust.
Make some pie.
Just dumb.
Make some freaking pie.
Crispy bacon. Make Tom owner. Super Bowl in 10 years. He will sell. That's all I'm asking for. I might go down to like 8 even. 8 years. Give me the deed, Jerry. And I promise you I will win a Super Bowl or I will sell the franchise. I will give it away.
He'll give it away. He's not going to sell. He's going to give it away.
A better bidder than me, and I'll take the money and pocket it. It's all very fair. Just give it to me. I will sell if we don't win. And then if I do so, I get to pocket the...
You donated all to charity.
Yeah, I'll donate a portion. A proceeds will go to charity. Stump Bill, this one's for Jeremy. There you go. We need to use the Eagles and San Fran offensive model for next year. We got the personnel. I don't know if you have the play caller. I don't. I also don't know if you have the runner in Dak that Hurts is, or if they would be willing to. Like I think Hurts is a better runner than Dak is right now.
You know what I haven't seen at all? Which, I mean, I get
But I would like to bring in some of those
minds. I get
minds
it from the injury.
For what you're going for there.
I talked to one of my buddies, and he said he kind of felt the same way whenever he got injured in high school. I haven't seen Dak once with that read option in the red zone in the past 2 seasons.
They ran it a few times this year, mostly in like high leverage situations. But you know what play is now not in the playbook anymore is the quarterback draw. They would go either maybe one back or go empty, and it was their go-to 2-point play call. They called it against the Seahawks on like 3rd and 13 in the playoffs when they were literally settling for a field goal, and Dak broke a tackle and got down to the 1. That quarterback draw play always worked when it was called, every time, and I don't think I've seen it since the injury. In general, they have dialed back the runs for Prescott, but he ran it at a higher rate than he did this year. It was a little bit more like the 2019 running game, not as much as the early career.
Which, even though it made me cringe every second of watching it, Jalen Hurts was really effective on the ground against the Niners.
He was. He's a very good athlete. Chris B. But, Tom, you got that big Micah contract coming. He's going to say it. And I'm going to be so mad online. I will be so triggered once he says that. I'll be very upset. Because I know what's going to happen there. Thank you, Chris B. Is that the last of the supers there, Jeremy? All right. 2 minutes on the clock. We
have a shot for 269.
Oh, 269. I'll do a little halfie since I spilt it last time.
Don't skimp them.
Fine. How about I just don't spill it this time?
That sounds like a plan.
There we go. All right. 2 minutes on the clock.
Sigma 6, chill.
We will stay live as long as the supers come in, or else we're getting kicked out of the studio here. Other channels got to film stuff. Cheers. 2 minutes. We'll stay live.
2 minutes.
82% said yes. Dumping Kellen was the correct move.
And while we have the 2 minutes,
okay.
Quick question for you, Tom. Your favorite breakfast pastry? It's National Croissant Day.
Croissant.
It's croissant.
Croissant. D's is my favorite.
With duck sausage.
D's. Yeah, exactly.
But no, for real. What if you're going any breakfast bread, like muffins, donuts, croissants, bagels, any breakfast bread? What are you going for?
Is it just the pastry?
And I.
Oh, you
I
said
definitely-
patsy or pasty. Jesus, Jeremy, learn to spell. Spelling
any
Jeremy.
breakfast- Any breakfast pasty.
Let's hit Chris B's super chat here real quick. Then I'll answer it for you. He just asked. He says, "I'd give up a first for a team to take Stephen Jones." I would too. I would too.
2 more minutes on the clock.
Jeremy, who says no? The number 10 pick for Stephen Jones.
I think the Eagles.
I think they do too. Is it like just the pastry, or do I get to put like other stuff on it?
I mean, you can put other stuff on it.
'Cause
Like,
then I'll probably go like a breakfast bagel, like because I can do a lot of fun things with that.
what's your go-to bagel?
MK makes a really good one. It's turkey and mozzarella cheese, and I'm forgetting something else she puts on it on
Turkey and mozz.
on a sesame seed bun.
Oh, sesame seed
That's
bun.
really or no sorry everything bagel everything
bagel. Give me the schmear. Give me some lox.
schmear and
Give me
lox.
give
There
me
you
some
go.
red onion on top, a little capers, maybe a little cucumber, some thinly sliced cucumber.
There you go.
Sounds good. Or bacon, egg, and cheese. on a bagel.
Always a classic.
Bacon,
Always
egg, and
a
cheese on a
classic.
bagel.
Always a classic.
Are you Pop-Tart or toaster strudel?
Pop-Tart.
Really? Dude, I'm all toaster strudel.
Just gotta heat up the Pop-Tart a little bit.
See, toaster strudel's still better.
Toaster strudels are good too,
Oh,
though.
this one's for you,
Don't get me
Tom.
wrong. Now wait a minute. I know it's your turn.
Nope, I took the other stump.
Sperry, whose turn is it? Me?
It's
or
Tom's.
or Jeremy's?
Oh my!
Sorry.
I might have to. Tom might.
I got to tickle my throat.
But see, if we do the math, Tom, you did Mark his $10. I did the first stump fill 10.
No, this
This
is
is the third-
Stumpville. This is your super chat.
No,
Yes, it is.
this is the third
This
one.
is yours.
If we've done 3, Tom was the
All
first
right.
one. Tom, Jeremy, Tom.
We will let the people decide.
Oh my God, you are so ridiculous. It's been put out there that Diggs might hold out. Do you feel it is going to be a new RB room with this draft? Oh, I think these are two
Different questions. It's the pin poll, by the way. Who does the shot? We will honor the results of the shot once we reset the 2 minutes on the clock. Give you guys some time. I don't think Diggs holds out in the end. It's. I think he might threaten to, but I don't think he does. It's not beneficial to players to do it anymore. New RB room. There will be change in this room. Oh, who ended the poll?
Tom, you
50-50. Why did you end the poll?
we both did the shot.
I'll be the adult in the room. Jesus,
We'll
Jeremy.
both do it, but you do the next 10. How about that?
That's the same thing. Oh, God. Cheers. Your running back room will look quite different. It will. It will.
Maybe
And
you'll get-
frankly, it has to.
Maybe you'll get a Texas running back.
Roshan
Roshan
Johnson in the
Johnson.
4th round. Oh, look, depending on what you do in free
I don't
agency,
hate. He was good.
I think I might have Roshan in the 4th over Bijan in the 1st.
Really?
Like Bijan's a way better player.
This running back
But-
draft is pretty.
But the running
deep.
back draft, I agree. I think it is deep, and you're investing a lot in running back and putting yourself in the same spot we just were.
You know who I've been consistently getting in mock draft simulators in like the 5th and 6th
They're
round?
all broken, but be careful.
5th and 6th. Well, I don't think this is really that
Yeah.
like broken. 5th or 6th round. Been consistently getting the running back out of Minnesota.
Oh, Mohamed Ibrahim.
Bro, he is.
That's probably about right for him.
Nice.
He's just old and injury problems, but he's very good.
Like a 6th round pick, like a flyer on that
Mm.
guy.
Yeah. All right, 1 more minute on the clock here. We'll go to Ride with Lucky Clay. What would Chugs do as the Cowboys head coach?
Oh.
I know the answer. I'm curious if Jeremy knows what he would do, because I know the answer.
What I would do if I was the Cowboys head coach. Now, does this mean, Tom, that I get like, is this strictly just like play calling, or is this I get control over the roster as well?
We'll give you some input on the personnel power. How about that?
Okay. I would not even play Zeke. I would cut him immediately this offseason. I would go get a competent running back. I would get another offensive lineman, maybe a guard center combo. I don't know. I don't love the interior offensive line of the Cowboys. I would, if I was the head coach, that's a good question.
I think you're lying about what you would do. I think you would sabotage from within and help the Eagles win games.
I was trying to answer it.
I know you are, and I appreciate that. It was actually a very good answer.
I was trying to non-troll
It
once.
was actually a very good answer.
I was trying to non-troll,
Yeah.
and this is what I get. This is why I troll.
Trollception.
This is why I troll, because whenever I don't troll, Tom doesn't let me finish my answer.
That's very fair. All right, I think we're past the timer here, Jeremy. We'll sign off here. If you missed the Kellen Moore replacements, that will be available on demand in, I don't know, give me 15, 20, 30 to get it pushed out and finished of everything. And as a reminder, we will be live again Thursday night, prime time Cowboys Report after dark. Do not miss out. Make sure you guys tune in. I'm not sure. I don't think it's you this time. I've not checked to see if it's me, if it's you or Patrick.
I believe it is
I'm sure
Mr.
Seatman. It was Patrick. That's right. So we will be live again Thursday. No trolling Jeremy. Make sure you guys tune and hit that subscribe button.
I'm sorry. I know everybody. Y'all want me.
Everyone loves Jeremy.
Y'all love, as much as y'all don't want to say it. Y'all love that I'm the producer for Cowboys Tuesday Live.
Sometimes we love to hate you. That's how it goes.
Dude, the amount of people that were wanting me whenever the Eagles lost.
Surprisingly high high number.
The live show after the Eagles lost, whenever I happened to have COVID.
Yeah, that's true.
And I wasn't able to come in.
Yeah.
You would have thought that I was the biggest celebrity in the world with the amount of people asking for chugs in the comment section, wanting my head. It felt like
it made you feel good.
I felt like a wanted man. It was El Chapo, me.
And on that note, we will sign off and see you guys again live.